Welcome back everybody for Clara's 15 months update. It's been a hot minute. The last one I did was at her 12 months mark. So quite a bit has happened and it's just been a whirlwind since it's been Christmas and New Year's and all that. But let me try to give you the highlights of her developmental milestones. Her vocabulary is huge. She knows to bring things. So let's say I'll tell her, can you bring me your pants? And she will be able to understand that and actually follow through and bring me her pants. She knows when I say put on your shoes, and she can actually put on her shoes by herself, and she loves doing that. On a side note, she really likes wearing shoes indoors, not so much outdoors. So she likes to take them off while we're at the barn, which it's January in Canada, it's really cold, not great. So I've been kind of fighting that battle a little bit, but other than that, she is really good at like following really simple instructions. She can also point out her nose, ears, mouth, eyes, forehead, toes, feet, hands. It's very cute when you like say things like, Clara, where are your hands? She'll go like, and all of this is in German. Now she knows most of these in English too, so she's pretty good at that, but she's definitely more kind of fluent, if you will, in German at this point, and that's because I'm the primary caretaker, and I speak German with her. Although on weekends when her dad is there, who's in the military, so he doesn't live with us during the week, he's only home on weekends, we speak English. So she gets less English, but she also knows a lot of these, like she knows nose, mouth, forehead, that kind of thing. She knows quite a few. And of course it started with her pointing these body parts out on us, so she'd like go touch my nose, but by now she's figured out, you know, that she can actually show them on her own body, and even things like her ears, which she doesn't see herself. Like hands and feet are easy, but ears and all that, which is a little more complicated for a child to grasp, in you know, my thinking, she also knows those now, so that's pretty amazing. She knows no and yes, and she can shake her head, nod, and she will also indicate, for example, if she wants something or she doesn't want something. So for example, during lunchtime, I can show her a variety of food and like offer them to her, and she'll go no, 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 or which is her sign of, yeah, please give me that, I want to eat that. So it's pretty cute. She's communicating so much. But on the other side of the coin, in essence, the speaking, she doesn't do much. So she has said a variety of words like ball, cat, nose, mama, dada, but she doesn't really use those words to communicate. She like, it's kind of like she practices if she can copy us saying it, but she doesn't actually apply those in order to communicate with us, and she doesn't repeat it. So let's say we get really excited because she said nose, but then she like won't say it again, and we're sitting there like nose, 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 and like right excited, and she's like, yeah, I said that, but I'm not gonna do that again. So from what I read, that's a pretty common occurrence. Not worried about it. Again, from our research, children that grow up bilingually, which Clara is, German and English, it can take a little longer for them to speak because they need to figure out why different words are being used to describe the same thing, and they want to apply it correctly. So we'll see how that goes. I'll do another update at the 18 months mark and see where she's at then. But she's definitely said a few words, just not actively using them to communicate with them. It's more kind of a practice. Physically, she is, doing fantastic. She was really early walking and all that, so she's in gymnastics, she's in a variety of play groups, and so she can, she's really good at things. She can climb up on a couch and she can get back down by herself, and obviously like we will stand there and make sure she doesn't fall, but she'll turn around and like slide down. She knows how not to fall. She kind of knows technically how to get up and down the stairs, but again, we have gates, and we watch that pretty closely. At gymnastics, she knows how to go, like bend her knees on the trampoline and that. She'll go up on her tippy toes. When I showed, we do like baby squatted, so squatting on the floor We do log rolls down like inclines. So we do just a bunch of things, and especially the gymnastics class are fantastic for it because she, she sees some of the older kids doing it. We have her, we do like a drop-in program, but we also have her enrolled in this kind of, it's not a mommy and me, it's called You and Me, and Tim and I take her together at Saturday mornings, and it's just kind of from a year to 3 years. So she's one of the youngest there, so she sees the older kids doing it, which is great because then she like wants to copy it, and she learns so much by doing that. So it's great, and it's also a nice way to get her kind of out socialized, which it's a bit early, but it's nice. And again, we have various playgroups that we go to now. One is at a community hall nearby, and again they have like bobby cars and that, and all the older kids are like driving around with them like crazy. It's like just a big empty hall, and they have like some mats and stuff to play on the floor, but for the most part they can just go wild, and it's fantastic for her because she gets a lot of energy out. She's a very energetic little girl, which is fantastic. I love it, but it's also good to kind of give her spaces to do something with that energy, so she doesn't do it all in the house all the time. So yeah, so physically again she's doing fantastic. Now I cannot update you on her 15 months, I think it's called like a wellness check or well-being check, because we'll have that next week actually. So at that check she will get vaccinated again, and she'll get the normal 15 months vaccination according to the Canadian schedule, but she'll also get one of the vaccines that is I guess recommended by the Canadian schedule at the 12-month appointment. But when we went for the 12-month appointment, fully willing to have her, vaccinated with everything that's on the plan, they actually recommended that we only give her 2 out of the 3 needles to make it easier on her. So she got 2 of the 3 needles at the 12-month appointment, and then the 3rd needle she's actually getting next week at her 15-month appointment. That way she got, 2 at the 12 months mark, 2 at the 15 months mark, instead of getting 3 and then 1, which kind of made sense to us. So that's what we went with. Besides being really active during playtimes, she also loves to cuddle and be read to. And it's really sweet because, one of the milestones for the 15 months is that they like point at things and go and like actually recover objects. And she definitely does it. And it's really sweet because she will go and she'll pick out a book, for example, and then she'll show me to my chair, and I'll sit down and she'll bring me the book, and then she'll come in my lap and she snuggles into my arms, and I read her so many stories. And it's one of my favorite things to do with her because she snuggles into me. Sometimes I nurse her while I read to her, and sometimes she just cuddles. And so we read a variety of books, but a series of books that I love and which I found actually surprising is actually book series from IKEA. They have like these beautifully illustrated books, and they're like kind of the big size, and maybe I'll put the information in the box below, but they have amazing books there. So we like those, and we have a bunch of books from Germany that were from when I was younger, and we just, we have some of the Disney books now, so it's really nice. And Clara does not get any screen time, so we do not do movies or any of that. We're really strict on that. She doesn't, we don't want her to have any screen time. So books are like the main kind of form of kind of calm entertainment that we do, but we also draw with her. And for Christmas she got like a little easel with crayons, so she really likes drawing on that. But we also got a mat where you can draw on it with water, and it kind of dries and it disappears. So that's also fun because again it's also kind of with water, and you can use stamps on it and that. So that's another form of kind of like more of a calm entertainment instead of kind of the active running around. But I think the best thing that she got for Christmas, well maybe not the best, but the most used thing for sure, is her play kitchen, which she got from her Oma and Opa, so my parents, because she loves playing tea time with me and sometimes her Oma or her daddy, and she'll have the pots, and she like stirs in the pot, and then all her stuffed animals come, and she'll like feed them. She'll make them like eat out of the pot, and she hands out like cups, and I'm trying to practice with her like the different colors based on the cups and the plates that she has. So I'll ask her like, hey, can you give me the blue cup? And sometimes it works, it doesn't always work yet, but So we're definitely practicing colors as well. So yeah, but reading, drawing, those are kind of other activities that she really likes. One of the things that was difficult, I'd say, in the past, 3 months since the last update, is that she had eczema, and it got really bad. It was like bright red and itching her, and I just used like the eczema cream from Aveeno that you can just purchase at the store from like my research. The Canadian Eczema Association has that listed on their website, so I tried that, but it didn't really do the job. So we actually went, and we had it checked with the registered nurse practitioner that we're seeing, and she ended up getting a cortisone cream, a hydrocortisone cream, and that cleared it up. But she's had reoccurring outbreaks, and that sucks because it does get itchy, and I mean, it doesn't bother her most of the time if it's just a little bit, but when it really flares up, it definitely bothers her. So then I use the hydrocortisone cream as recommended by her healthcare professional. But it's something that I'm going to raise at her 15 months update because it has been reoccurring, and it's worrying me that, you know, sometimes I guess it happens as a child, so hopefully it'll just go away over time, but I do want it monitored. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is that she's really exploring her feelings. So you can really tell her, you know, her expressions are getting so much more varied when she's, you know, she's scrutinizing something, she's happy, she's teasing us, but also that she gets angry and upset about things. And it's amazing to see her kind of develop her character, but she's also, of course, had these kind of, you know, toddler tantrums, as some people would call it. I think, you know, I'm more aligned with the idea of it's not a negative thing, it's something where they're exploring their emotions, and it's something to learn how to process all of these feelings around them. They have so much being put onto their senses, so that, you know, that it can be quite overwhelming. So how do we deal with these big emotions in this little child that you can't really talk to yet? Well, in the first place, what we do is we praise correct behavior, of course. We make a big fuss out of anything she does right, and, you know, that's most of the time, right? When she does things that we don't want her to do, instead of punishing her or being upset with her, we try to redirect her attention. And of course, we're also trying to be proactive in ensuring that we don't get into a situation where she's overtired, you know, hungry or overstimulated to the point where it's too much for her and she gets overwhelmed. You can't help it at all times. We're not perfect. Sometimes it happens that she's so overwhelmed, and then, you know, I hold her. I comfort nurse. I believe in comfort nursing. I think that's perfectly fine to help her kind of calm down and ground herself and center herself. So it's definitely been a learning curve for us as well, because you know, everything that's new for her is new for us, but we do try to just kind of be really proactive and just make it our mission to find positive ways to deal with all of that. In terms of sleep, she sleeps wonderfully. We co-sleep. It's no problem. She does one nap now. The only thing is that sometimes she wants her nap fairly early in the day, and then it's a little, she gets a little tired in the evenings. But for the most part, we have it on a pretty regular schedule. We don't schedule it, but she kind of automatically, naturally leans towards sleeping pretty much midday. So sometimes it's a little earlier, and then I just kind of do more reading time in the afternoons and work with it that way. I continue to nurse. I don't even know how many times a day I nurse now, but still, you know, on demand, but for the most part she drinks a lot, of course, doing when she wakes up, before her nap, before bedtime, and then a couple times, you know, throughout the day she'll come and nurse. So that's really everything we have for her 15 months update. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm excited to look back on these and kind of see how my little girl developed. I'll be back with another one of these at her 18-month mark, and until then, I hope you enjoy our videos. Bye!